So, we find ourselves where our heroes left off last time, the castle district of Hardhus City, undercover as not terrible Vikings who loved raiding the local villages. Before the Lonely Three, the towers of the three resident wizards. Party has arrived on something of a bit of a whiz-biz themselves.
Absolutely.
So, stand amidst the tall buildings of the castle district before the mighty Hardhus Keep. Find yourselves before the Lonely Three. As previously established, the three wizards listed in chat are Doblin the enigmatic gnomish alchemist, Borgar the half-orc conjurer, and Taiwane Lyrael the elvish illusionist. They have three towers that stab into the sky like ribs. Which do you approach?
Um, I say we check out the alchemist first.
Yes. All these
Or-
are words to Trogborg, and he just nods.
Okay, pretend this is a gnome. So you approach you approach the tower and find yourselves before the tower of the alchemist. And coming out to greet you are two apprentices. You find yourselves met by these emissaries, and yes, they usher you in, and you show you around the floor room, which has. Oh, you can't see shit, can you?
Nope.
They show you around the inner chamber of the tower, and there is
Oh.
something of a showroom here, with several large alchemical setups, various glinting metal, still-like structures, tubes, packed boxes, and sacks full of all manner of and after a time, a wee gnomish robed figure descends and says, "Hello, I am Toblin. I'm told by my apprentices that you're interested in doing a little bit of business." He looks his lips, looking you over, taking in the sights of your various accoutrements, particularly of the magical variety.
I bow my head and greet him. I say, yes, yes, absolutely. We've heard many great things about the work you do here, and would like to both peruse and perhaps learn if
Ah,
such opportunity is available.
well, for the right price, anything is available. I can't say I'm taking on any new apprentices right now, but he eyes Album. I suspect you might be interested in some of the finer points of magecraft, and I would be happy to impart upon you proper sort of scroll if I could be induced to part with one. They are not cheap to copy, as I'm sure.
Oh, of course. Of course, I
So,
would not presume to take anything for free.
what do you have to offer in exchange for your desire for knowledge?
Well, I have my own knowledge to share. I have been many places. Um, I also have the good old gold, good everywhere. Um, but I'm a traveler. I do not have unlimited funds, so perhaps we could trade information.
And he says, I would share rumors with you for rumors in kind, but don't expect to get a scroll out of that.
Uh, Out of character, I don't, well, I guess the only thing that would be valuable enough knowledge would be some kind of, magical, either. I don't really have any super special spells. Did we pick up any artifacts? Unusual
You you
artifacts?
have a book that is showing a different scroll every day that people just haven't been using or opening for some reason. Um,
Oh,
so the Tome of Genma, I think it's called. Let me check. Gehemna. Yeah. So you
yeah,
you
that's
actually have this item, which you, I mean, I'll send it in Discord, but you will probably have a personal desire to use that. Frankly, you have the sail to catch all winds, but that's been kind of useful. You have that evil dagger that I think you had, or maybe someone else did. But other than that, I mean,
yeah.
I think you were coming
Yeah,
here with something in mind, but I don't know what it was. But I thought that you guys were seeking out a wizard to do some whiz biz.
yeah, pretty much. I'd honestly just exploring options, but I don't think there's anything solid there. So, yeah. What's what are the going rates?
So he is willing, but with certain level 1 scrolls and some potions. The amounts for which, give me a charisma, sort of, like, navigate this transaction here.
Sure. Normal roll. Oh, ho, ho.
Alright. For a mere 100 GP, he will part with a scroll of mage armor or
I think I have that spell already. Yeah, I do.
mirror image.
Now that one is of interest.
Yeah, so he's willing to sell that. Additionally, he has potions of vitality, polymorph, visibility, and healing. All of them are 200 GP except for healing, which is 50 GP. So it shows you around his various bobs and baubles, his crystal skull vodka looking containers, his various vessels of swirling colored liquids with eyeballs and strange ichors and ochres to them.
Some good stuff. Goodness, that stuff is not cheap. How much money do I have, actually?
Ach,
Do we have a tally of the...
you have like thousands of gold worth of spices that you've now liquidated. So, the answer is you can afford all of this shit. Really?
I'm tempted to
Um,
just go for all of it.
yeah, you want one of each?
Yeah. What does the vitality do again?
It increases your hit points permanently, but if you drink it more than once, something bad might happen.
Oh, since this is the first time, I'll buy my own.
Okay.
All right, so that's 650 GP for one of all of those, and then if you want the scroll as well, that's 750 on this here transaction.
Yes. Can we actually add an additional healing
Yes,
potion
rounding us up to 800
up
GP.
to 800? Yes.
So about one of those fucking crystal windows worth of silver is now, in his hands. His apprentices go and like take it to the lockbox, and he says, "Well, it seems like you've been doing pretty well for yourself. I see you're fat with merchant's coin, though you be wander, did you say?"
We are wandering merchants, yes.
He
Uh,
narrows his eyes at that and rubs his chin. Give me a charisma check.
I was gonna say though, I am but a representative of our crew.
Yeah, you can say that, but he's
Uh,
he's thinking
yeah,
about it. You've got a slightly
that's
Scandinavian accent.
perfectly fair. Nat
Oh,
20.
oh.
No, no.
He says, "You put on a good front, my friend. But, oh, don't let me call the cards so callously. Yes, you're representatives of a merchant crew. I'm sure you do plenty of business, as we have just here." He pauses for a beat, and he says, "Tell me, have you been to the easternmost district?"
Uh, I don't think we have. No.
No.
He ponders this. He ponders you. And he ponders the state of your allies. And after quite a bit of pondering and chin rubby rubs,
Ponders an orb for good measure.
yes, I mean, he's, of course. Um, he tells you of the slums. Says the slums were very hard hit by the desolation. However, there are two places still of note there. Yarny's stead, where old Yarny has some of the farmers huddled together with what little they have left, and Holstack. You'll note that it's one of the last buildings standing out there. He looks you
Oh,
over and says, "There are interesting things. There are left behind things. Perhaps if you find something that very much interests, there is a certain altar in the stones of the eastern cliff woods. If you travel to 11.5,
oh, okay.
perhaps you could tell me what you find there. And if you converse with some people in the east of the city, perhaps you'll know more what you're getting in, have even more incentive. But a wizard can't play all his cards. I'll have to leave the rest to you."
I understand. Well, you've certainly piqued my interest. Um, I'll maybe find out more. See what we can do.
I'm looking forward to watching your careers with great interest. And with that, shortly after you've conducted your business, you're conducted out of the tower, and you find yourselves in the city. So,
Oh yeah.
what does the group here in the castle district, or indeed in some place that isn't the castle district? Casual reminder:
Mm-hmm.
these burnt sections of the city are the ruined districts that the Reavers and the Vikings managed to successfully slash and burn.
Ah, okay, okay. Um, I definitely want to go check that out, that plot thread, but I am also curious what there is to be found in the Conjurer's Tower. So
Alright,
while we are here,
you head
uh,
over and you knock.
Trogborg has no objections.
Of course not. I got a potion of vitality.
Yes, so 4 apprentices pop out, and you see there's a big summoning circle, the minor alchemical stand, and it's a big golden brass affair with glyphs and some demonic language. And a mercurial elf descends and looks at you, says, "What do I owe the pleasure of being called upon by so illustrious?"
Um, well, I am a traveling wizard, and I just had the pleasure of visiting your alchemist neighbor here. Uh, I figured I'd come see what you have here as well. Um, you are certainly working potent magics, I see.
They stroke their chin and say, "Yes, I am something of a summoner myself. I have entertained clients all across both Kirlizia, and at the moment I am working on." They kind of drift off and say, "But I don't suppose it's great to concern yours. Tell me, what have you brought? Your business?"
Oh, I'm merely passing through, though. Is there anything that you do offer to passersby?
Um, so the wizard considers this.
Particularly a passerby of arcane inclinations?
So wizards consider it. Um, and you hold on. I know that something is here, but I can't find it. Curse of writing things down, so I'll probably just kind of fit something here.
Totally fair.
Okay. So the wizard tells you, "I am particularly interested in a group that predates the Kirlizian, known to some as the Sea. Their ruins and their markings. You wouldn't happen to have found anything of that variety, would you?" Cough, cough, the goody woad pillars, cough, cough.
The Was I here for that?
No, I think that was a Ramba and Pat only special.
Ah,
Oh Lord. Okay.
But you would know because the lower level characters came back and told you about it.
okay. Uh, well, I it sounds like something that we could share. Like we don't have a reason to keep it to ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so so Taiwan Lario is taking special interest in the sea commerce, and their next request is, "I want a sketch of something known as woad pillars. I want to understand what I can about the sea commer's text below the crypt of the law as well. Although for that you'll need to breach the undergirding of a holy place. But certain rumors tell me that it might be easier now than at other times. I can
Um,
procure you one magic item of your or 1,000 gold pieces in trade goods and coinage in exchange for both these pieces of information."
one more time, what is the objective?
So, sketch of the woad pillars deep, which place your party members of your crew have been
Wood
before,
pillars. Okay.
and
Those pillars were the puzzles, wasn't it?
yes, the puzzle pillar.
And then there was something about a Seacomber's text.
Yes, copy of information from an original Seacomber's text below the crypt of the law.
Ah, okay.
Crypt of the law is what is underneath the seminary, which show you the map here. This is where Goo Deep is. This is where the Woad pillars are, and Seminary Rock is over here. So either side of East Curlizzy.
Gotcha. Okay, so Seminary Rock is U 8.5. I'm trying to take notes here so that you don't have to remember everything. Um, so it was Seminary Rock, and what was the other location?
The Goo Deep Woad pillars. I wrote it down in the chat.
Where in the map is that? Or is that off the map?
E6.5. Sorry, you guys spent a lot of time there recently. It's over here. So like,
Oh, okay. I see, I see. Cool. All right. Well, we've got some nice quest hooks. I'm here for it.
So do you have anything else you want to do with the Whiz-Biz, the wizard? Or do you want to move on from this?
I say we can move on.
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, so city is your oyster. The people hustle and bustle and come and go. Uh, the sun hangs a little low in the sky. You did arrive here later in the day, but it is not yet night. What do you...
We were pointed to a place in the slums, right? By the alchemist.
You're pointed to two places in the slums. Yarny's Stead, where an old woman has some farmers chillin', and Coal Stack, which is apparently you'll know it when you see it.
Well, I'd say we head to the closest one.
All right, so
We full stack.
go to the Temple District, and in the Temple District, see the unbent Tower of Ord, which you saw before, is a clockwork tower dedicated to the god of magic. Off to the side as you go is the Cathedral of St. Agnes. Deeper in appears to be where ruined Palu Madeira is. But your goal is to the north, so you press through Temple District. And as you do so, you see a number of blindfolded pilgrims sat in a circle. Three of them. They kind of block the main of the street, but you can get around them pretty easily. Some people sell bone charms and other tchotchkes here at the back alley of the Temple District to pilgrims and the like. Little wooden swords allegedly imbued with splinter of Saint Agnes' sandal or whatever. You don't pay much mind to these southern gods. You make your way around, and you do, however, see quite clearly that the devastated districts are not, not fucking around. This is a truly ruined portion of the city, and in the ruined districts, you could run serious risk of running into you don't know what, but it looks like there's not necessarily normalized control there. There are even barricades in the street, and a few temple guard kind of watch over it with halberds. They don't stop anyone from coming and going, but their authority does not seem to extend into the ruins. And you see just toppled buildings, streets covered in ruined stones, pavers collapse into what appear to be bottomless chasms, and a stink of rot coming over it from all. The slums was probably never a pretty place, but it has been utterly ruined. It looks like a hurricane has ripped through more than just a Viking raid. And
Damn.
yes, you see in the distance, however, peering over top of this, a twisted and crumbling and burnt congealed pair of towering tenements overlooking the ruined district. The lean structure that stands impossibly firm, doors and windows and broken bits of wall perfectly blending together, ruins into a new structure. There's smoke burning up from under it. So, do you want to head through the ruined slums and try and reach Coalstack?
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Tread.
Now, as we go through, I look around. Is there Do I spot anything that seems of an imminent threat of violence, or is it more just general
Well,
disarray?
not necessarily, but you do see 8 peasants, and these peasants seem to busy themselves in a rubble field that you have come upon. They are attempting to find what remains of the smashed and burnt possessions you see as they say, "Damn it all!" as they, pick over the ruined loss of what they had. They take a look. They take a sudden twist as they hear people approach and ask, "What are you doing here?" All 8 of them, fairly standoffish and on guard.
And this is not close to the coal stack. It's
You're like,
just a random assembly.
you're halfway between. This is not near there. You're not near the guards. You're not near the coal stack. I mean, someone in like the way that like the ruin of the buildings lies to either side of the street. No one who isn't immediately around can see or hear what's happening.
But yeah.
It's just you and 8 peasants.
Um, I mean, we're here on our business, on our
Yeah.
own business,
And what's
and
that? These are our homes. I don't recognize you. Hey, Pat. Yeah, what's your business then? Are you looters? They have clubs and staves about them, and they sort of form up, and they look very distrustful as they pry you with their eyes.
we're not here for anything of yours. And I would make to leave basically.
Yeah. The peasants are not brave enough to offer any further resistance. Not that doesn't strike them as an ominous statement. But yeah, you move on and you reach Coal Stack. Coal Stack immediately smells, well, burning. And the scent strikes your nostrils just as the views begin to really, you know, drill in. The twisted and crumbling, burnt, congealed pair of towering tenements, as previously established. It always smells of smoke, and there's always a crackling of fire below. You see it is decorated with looted tapestries and melted ornamentation. There's this gaudy parody of a high-class salon in these various gaping interior doorways that are now the exterior entrances. You see backwater courtesans, small-time thugs, and what you can recognize as a few infamous pirates rubbing shoulders. People dice, drink, plot, fence cargo on all levels. And on an upper level, you see a man wears what looks to be a simple priest robe, dyed all red. You overhear people on the lower floors, including you see 2 gnolls that lean in over a railing to have a conversation. Talking about one Vadir Ruga. Now you know Vadir is like father, it's a religious title, but Vadir Ruga, I mean, he's clearly in some den of ill repute. People seem to mention him like he runs this. Do you want to head deeper inside?
Mm, what do you think, Trogborg? Uh, maybe you
Hmm.
should go first.
Sure. I go in.
Go in.
And I'm right behind.
You enter up, and like eventually you find these stairwells. Some of them are like 90-degree rotated, like clearly like the ground isn't like you're just going up an edifice that was supposed to be in a wall, but it winds up being a stairway. These crooked dimensions. There's all sorts of tapestries and like melted together lamp bits and ornaments that form this weird, you know, parody of a fine place. Finally, you find yourself in the presence of Vadir Ruga. Wears a red robe, and he says, "Welcome. I am a priest of the people." Does a little faux bow, and you get a certain air about him. You note that there are bandits and two gnolls nearby, such that they could come running at the first sign of violence. One of them actually plays with their nails with their knife, and you see that there are gangs of people coming to and from the tower who seem to hand off a bit of money to some of his bandits and gnolls. They do business here. And says, "I see you have come a long way to visit. Tell me," he says, his red flowing robes cutting a very striking velvet image in his office that has there's no wall behind him, it's just a view of the ruined city behind him, but he's sat in what appears to be like it was once a tenement apartment, now done up to be like a fancy study. It's Pat.
Hmm.
Do we have a Pat?
We have a Pat.
Welcome, welcome.
The one that I am. It's a me, Pat. All
Oh,
right, so we're clearly interacting with some sort of slum wizard question mark.
well,
Slum priest, apparently.
he styles
Ah,
himself as a priest of the people.
gotcha.
So to catch you up real quick, we did a brief visit at a couple of the wizards' towers in the city.
Any exciting?
Bought some potions,
Oh, that's good.
and got some quests from two of the wizards. We only visited two of the towers. Um, and one of them was to get a mysterious item from the dark altar in the woods. And we were
Okay,
directed
that's
here to this
definitely not
place to
cursed.
find out more.
Okay, exciting.
To a clear den of iniquity.
Oh, yes, of course, of course.
So this is all clearly very legit, very above board.
Most assuredly, most assuredly. That dark altar totally belongs to the wizard and the contents therein.
Well,
Of
I mean, the
course.
Dark Altar is off in the woods.
Well, yes, but it's totally something that should be tampered with.
So, Ivadir Rugik sort of looks at you expectantly, his bandits and gnolls collecting their take from the business that goes on here. It's clear a lot of things are being fenced. Cargo is moving around, and it seems to be like, silverware, bits of velvet and silk, whatever could be successfully salvaged, iron tools and scrap metals. And yeah, this guy's self-styled study with the city behind him is down one wall, and he is looking at you expectantly as you ascended into the towering, fused, multi-tenement construct that is Coal Stack. And
Yarla stands sternly and glowers, making it clear that she's not going to be the one talking.
Um, I suppose I will step forward from behind Trogborg and introduce us as humble travelers who we were directed this way for some potential work.
says, I happen to be a man who's at, shall we say, hot commodities. I don't know what business in, but hesitates a little and says, a lot of events have transpired here. As it happens, I have need of some medicine. Would be so kind as request and return with a parcel. I would be happy to quickly erase the coin.
Ah, very well. How far away do you need this delivered?
Not far at all. I would go myself, but I'm so busy being the proprietor here at Full Stack, you know.
Of course.
Near and very near at N10, there is a lovely farmstead where a woman. I'll make it worth your while. Gold, hard coin. Just be sure to be swift about it.
I think we can make time. But before we go running about, I did want to ask you about the reason why we were sent over here. Um, we were told there's something of interest, potential interest perhaps to wizards on the eastern shore, referencing
He looks at
Q
you and he
11.5.
says, ah, yes, the altar. They say great powers those who. Are you planning to go?
It is possible. I was hoping you could tell us a little bit about what we might find there.
He looks at you a little cautiously and says, first of all, are any of you wearing any like obvious holy symbols or anything like that?
Nope.
I don't
Any
think
no
so.
little like Thor's hammers or Odin's eyes or anything like that?
Yarla, I mean, of all people, Yarla might actually have some sort of emblem of Freya or Odin, the two that she frequently prays to. Probably Odin. Yeah, let's say she's got an Odin's eye, or actually just a no. She's got a raven. What the fuck am I saying? She's got like a raven with one big eye.
He looks it over and says, well, you might not be the only ones, but I think that as a priest of the people, I'll have to let you guided there by your own prayers.
Perfectly
What's that
fair.
supposed to mean?
Vadir Aruga looks at you and says, you'll know when the time.
Yarla
Always
shrugs.
riddles.
This is why I was intending on letting you do the talking.
So, he is, seems to have clammed up a little on the precise subject surrounding it. You get the sense maybe he was looking for a sign that you were safe people to tell about something, but he hasn't necessarily gotten it, and maybe he's even gotten, you know,
The opposite.
yeah, the
Damn.
opposite. So he's not really going to open up about that one.
Should Yarla
Well,
leave the
damn.
room?
You get the sense that it's a little, no, more like this strange group of people has just showed up and asked me about the evil altar and what I think of it.
Yeah, that's fair,
You
honestly.
suspect that people who are very forthcoming with that information probably don't live in this city for very long. If they give an answer, an honest answer, without really vetting the whole group, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
He has no reason to believe that worshippers of the Norse gods are people he wants to share this information.
Honestly, fair.
Fascinating.
Considering apparently the city has been like completely wrecked by raiders.
Indeed.
What a bigot.
So, yeah, you find yourselves here in the slums. Do you guys want to do anything else with Fadaruga? Do you want to? I mean, there's like dicing and all that sort of stuff going on here, and like salacious figures gather, but you can't really see a path forward with him unless you have something to sell him. You want to like lean on him, or there's some other unexpected path that you want to take here.
I guess I would just. I'm a little like I'm still wondering why the wizard pointed us over here.
Well, no, he pointed you to here and to Yarny's stead, which is a gray shingle, steepled roof farmhouse right here that you can see in the distance. And you see there's a lot of people clung around there. He pointed you further east to the altar as well. This guy definitely seems to know things about that altar, and he definitely seems to have decided he wasn't going to share them.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Okay. I don't really have a good idea for what else to say to him. And this den is not really my scene, so
Nor mine, apparently. I say we vacate.
yeah. Let's check out the farmstead.
So, you all make to leave, and you descend. You find yourself again in the maze of collapsed buildings, shoveled stones, total, like, collapses into the abyss where these stones disappear into the black void below. You smell rot, bodies, storm water, and standing pools, diseased-looking wild dogs. This is not a good or happy place, and you move through the slums, and you feel the streak of ruin about this place, and it feels almost a little more than just the physical ruin. And between two collapsed buildings, as the street narrows out, you see that there's no further path forward. However, you see a rubble-strewn alley to the side with an upturned chest of silvers splattered out over the floor.
Like silver coins?
Yeah.
Ominous.
Mighty suspicious.
Wait, sorry. Describe where they are again.
There's a stone-strewn alleyway. There's a upturned chest
on the floor,
and the silver is spilled out of the chest. Yes, it looks like the chest has been like maybe violently knocked over or open, and there's silver coins all over the ground.
I poke the chest with my sword.
Okay, so you approach the chest.
Can I
With my sword.
first make an assessment if I have detect magic, right?
So
yes, I do. I would
what
like.
happens is, remember when two of these people were still alive? So what happens is you approach, and I do this, and I go to Genevieve, and I go to a bunch of other places. So the four of you, kind of look down an alleyway, which honestly, in retrospect, the other one is this is obviously not really a perfect map, but
It's all good.
okay, I am going to go to the stone wall one slightly better. So you look down this this stone alleyway, this stone strewn alleyway, And Yarla is approaching and poking something with her sword. And you said you wanted to like look for stuff that was around, right?
Yeah. In particular, I wanted to cast Detect Magic.
Sure.
Let's see. That's a success on a 16.
You have the vaguest sense of the power of chaos in this place. Like Shul the Vile's powers or Memnon's vile anti-law activities are somehow permeating it. But you don't get a particular fix on anything. Trogborg, what are you doing?
I am going to be groping around and just like looking.
Give me a wisdom check.
All right. Let's see. And it is going to be at a -1.
You don't see anything, but you put your hand right on something, and suddenly there is a snake of tendril. Right as Yarla is tipping the chest with her sword, a foul grick is going to strike at her. But then you grab it, and it winds up striking at you with its tentacle, and then striking at her with its beak.
Fun.
So,
Breakfast.
Trogborg, you've taken 4 damage, and you are immobilized. Yarla, you have taken 2 damage. And your Viking friend
damn.
in the back is like, "What?" And he was looking the other way to cover you, so he'll join you after the first go around, assuming it lasts that long. And yeah, Vormor, there is a Grick. A terrible Grick has appeared before you. This worm-like beaked creature. What do you do?
What an unpleasant thing to run into in an alley.
Not entirely
Um,
unexpected, though.
Wait, who's currently acting?
You.
Me. Okay. Um, well, I think there's nothing to it but a magic missile.
Ain't nothing. Magic missile. All right.
Thank goodness for that advantage.
Magic missile! Purple fire dances from your hand and slams into the Grick, dealing 2 damage. It was very well camouflaged against the stone, but now as it moves, you see it plain as day.
Creature.
Alright, it's slightly hurt. Anything else?
I keep a healthy distance.
Yarla, the foe has emerged. What do you do?
I would like to keep an unhealthy distance.
Alright. It's grabbed on
Or
to
it.
Trogborg. Alright. You strike at the foe, piercing its hide and hacking it for a steam of hot, black, inky blood to gush out of the side of the worm-beak creature. Trogborg, do you want to try and break free?
Yes, and let's see. And no, I can't.
You do not manage to break free, and you are pinned there, unfortunately. The Grick again strikes at you with the tentacle, this time with advantage. Slamming you about into the rocks for 6 damage. The Grick then tries to beak Yarla yet again. Missing. It is Album's turn.
Use some of that album grease.
Ha ha ha. Trangborg is still grappled.
Let's use, I think, yeah.
Can I try to help him get free?
Yes, also your ally is joining the fray because he's finally caught up with the rest of it. And
Whoa.
Hey.
you could direct your ally to try and free Trogborg.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give me a charisma check.
That's a 4.
He's like, I feel decidedly unmotivated, but I guess I'll try anyway. He does enough to give Trogborg advantage on his next check, but not enough to free him. What do you do?
Can I still attack?
Yeah.
Let's do it. You know what? Screw it. I have a dagger.
Alright, you reaching an unhealthy distance?
Never mind. I have -1 on melee attacks. So let's fire off some more projectiles.
A magic missile flies, and purple flame scatters off the rocks.
Oh no.
Missing the Grick.
And I cannot cast magic missile for the moment.
Yarla, it is your turn.
Yarla would like to continue being unsafe with large sticks.
Cut the Grick.
I mean, of all encounters to not be able to cast.
Right?
This is okay.
Lamentably missing.
Damn. Freya moment?
Do you want to? You'll get an extra d6 when you reroll.
Yeah, let's go for it. All right. Gonna go ahead and call this an item bonus of a set. You said it's a d6 actually? Sorry.
Yeah, it's an extra d6. Oh, yeah. That is a clean hit. In fact, with the 12, you hack the Grick clean in half as Trogborg breaks free. The dead thing spews steamy, hot, black, inky blood. And as it dies, you are left to your reward of 200 GP worth of silver coinage.
Nice.
What do you think? Frying oil? A little bit of breading? Cook up nice, right?
Oh, very nice, the Nord in the back says. It'll make a fine meal.
So, with that black blood, I'm suddenly not quite as sure as I was when I first announced it.
Yes, you consider the culinary value of your kill as I put you on the wrong map. Boom. You have slain a Grick, and you have been reminded that the city is not a safe place in the wake of the raids. With that, you are able to make it to Yarni's stead without too much further distraction. A simple grey shingle steepled roof farmhouse on short stilts that looks out onto the city's devastated outer fields. Yarni the farmer hid, you learn in the quickly relayed story, in a 5-foot cubby below the house leading to the cellar below while the raid happened and miraculously had her house passed over. You can tell it is now the focal point of gathering for desperate farmers trying to put their lives back together. There are 20 peasants here, around the yard, splitting wreckage for workable firewood, herding chased chickens, and trying to sell their rapidly rotting meat from brutalized animals. None of it looks fit to eat. Yarni is an old woman with gray hair, and she comes out to meet you. And she says, Strangers, I don't have any money to offer you, but I must ask your help.
Oh,
You've only just met us. How do you know we're helpful?
She says, I don't, but I am out of places to turn, so I must trust my luck. There was a
Perhaps luck's
herd
in your fate.
There was a herd of 60 cattle rustled off by some sea wolves and a shadowed night. No one is brave enough to pursue them as they went towards the Night Valda, a place of darkness and evil. I beseech you to return with whatever of the herd is left, because starvation falls upon this ruined city soon. I have no doubt in my mind that they head to the Dark Altar at Q11.5.
oh, out of character. That's where we're headed.
Yeah, I turned to the group kind of to gauge the opinion without actually saying anything. What are my party members what expression are they wearing? Are we in on this?
So just to make sure I'm understanding, she said that some raiders took cows to the altar.
They are taking a herd of 60 cattle towards the altar.
Yeah. Uh,
You know that it would be hard for them to take 60, like a herd of 60 cattle through the woods. So it's
that,
possible they're all in the open fen.
yeah, that seems like sort of an unlikely scenario. Can I try to assess if this woman is telling the truth?
Yeah, give me a wisdom. But also you can ask the various people around, and like the fact that a reaver and some sea wolves seems to make off with, yeah, she's telling the truth, and multiple other stories corroborate it. As the attack was melting, because it comes in this horrible wave of like the attackers fall upon them, there's all this chaos, and then suddenly the dark knights, the reavers, and the strange flayed cultists seem to just peel back and leave the sea wolves to their fate. But right before that happened, one shadowed knight and a crew of some sea wolves depart. They seemed to, as the fields were burning, rustle up a herd of 60 head cattle and drive them east.
Wow. Well, that sucks.
You could roll me an int check if you'd like.
Sure. That's a 12.
You do know that certain dark gods are wont to have a nice sacrifice.
It all makes sense now. Well, uh, in response to Yarla's inquisitive stare, I would just kind of like shrug, like, yeah, I mean, why not? We could do that.
And what of Trogborg? What are the vibes, good sir? What are the vibes?
Hmm. I don't know. I think I'm with Elvin and just be like, let's try to do some chaos, I guess.
All right. Sounds like you're in luck. We're headed that way. As would happen.
Thank you. If you can return with even half of the herd, it would feed so many people. Or at least the meat, if they're already, she trails off. But you do us a
Alright.
great kindness.
Well, if they're in meat form, unless we find a wagon, we'll just work on reducing the people who took them to meat, so that you can do the sorting.
Mhm.
Um, I would ask, we're new to the area. What can we expect over that way?
There's a few farmsteads. Sadly, one of them has been killed by those, has been burned out by those damn raiders. She balls her fist. But There's a lighthouse in the
Tactile
area.
silence.
There's a lighthouse in the area, Satyr Point, that keeps us safe and sends out ships to defend against raiders. There's the nearby farmstead at 08.5. Definitely. Did I not? Oh, I used the... Okay. The Oziler farmstead. There's 3 big families who live there. And their bond striders go to reinforce the warriors of Satyr Point Lighthouse. And then, of course, at N10, there's the kindly old lady and her family at the Toki farmstead. She makes various potions for the people. Of course, she does live at the edge of this horrible forest, she says, gesticulating to the Nightvalda in the distance. So, I'm not sure you'd want to stay there any longer than you had to, but I'm sure she'd let you stay the night.
Ah, that is very helpful. Thank you.
Indeed.
Very well.
So, you find yourselves at the edge of the city. The fen stretches out in front of you, and the Nightvalda stretches out to your right-hand side. How do you proceed?
Why don't we just go kill him? I say to the
Yeah,
party.
I guess we
That,
just
that
go.
sounds very simple. I'm behind it.
We don't need to worry about the rest of the crew, do we?
No. Do you want to head out overland?
Check it. Sure. I mean,
Okay. So night begins to fall pretty shortly. You are in the open fen. Bit swampy to step around in, but aside from low-lying brush, you can see around. There's the Nightvalda in front of you on the more direct path. Then there is a charming farmstead further to the north. And you could also camp here. If you press on further than camping here, either way, you're going to have to make con checks to avoid getting EP. What do you do?
I don't think
Well,
we're
we
in
should probably.
particular. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was agreeing with you. We should probably rest, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Sleep would be good.
You pitch a tent and camp. In the morning, you awoken.
Everybody heals us, right?
Yeah, you heal. You're all healed up. Eat some meat, have a nice rest, enjoy your day, travel somewhere. And yeah, you find yourself prepared to head out. So, you feel like you can normally cross 2 open hexes a day. If you were to push yourself 3, normally you would go at like half speed in these thick woods. However, if you were to be guided by the gods, or perhaps have a skilled woodsman among you, you might be able to make a good time.
Ugh, does this mean I'm going to have to pray?
Don't we have an explorer?
Yep, trog boards. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
thank God.
Yeah.
Don't apologize. You're saving me from talking to the gods.
Frogborg, is your int or your wisdom better?
Int, I guess.
Make me an int advantage. Trogborg's natural inclinations lead you into the Nightvalda. And indeed, you continue to find strange paths through this dark and twisting place. You hear strange chitterings and movements of things that look like roots, and yet they move like beasts. But Trogborg seems ever confident and leads you ever on. are making good time when you come upon two haggard campers. And you see that they are Nords, left behind after a raid. And at first they were a little standoffish, but then when they see you, they call out and they say, "Hail, countrymen."
Finally, no more acting.
And they say, "Tell us, the wolves?"
Oh, aye.
Aye, we are.
"We are without crew, and we would pledge our lives to you if you would have us."
No catch. Join then.
"Yes. All we ask is safe transport back at the end of raiding season." And they join up. You now have they're at half health. They can take a little while to recover. You have them. So you've
Good
traveled.
luck. What party did you join, or were you part of?
They said we were part of a huge raid with most of the Tavoric ships against this city. Of course, there are also people from the Isles of Andric, which by your accent I wager you've come from as well. We hit the
Oh,
city,
indeed.
and it seemed to us just after we hit the cathedral of one of their gods, with the lion statues outside. The whole thing went to shit, fell apart. People got stabbed, ran. We wound up having to flee to the east to survive when the knights charged out. Got into the thick woods and
Indeed.
escaped, but it's been rough going in unfamiliar terrain. I wouldn't go too much deeper into the woods. It's thick and black. It's like the edge of the world.
There was treachery. Your crew were deceived by
Aye.
worshippers of the southern gods.
How
The
vile.
foul corruption one.
Well, then
Yes.
we shall fall upon them and surely avenge ourselves in battle at some point.
That is precisely where we intend to go. We
Yes.
shall avenge ourselves tenfold.
Now, you're starting to get tired. But Trogborg, you get a scent, a foul scent like brimstone. You are and you also smell cow dung. You are confident that the enemy cattle rustlers are in this hex. Does the party press on to catch them?
Yes.
All right.
I think it's time.
Everyone, give
Yeah.
me a Constitution check.
All right. Let's see.
This is a totally new day, so I have a new Freya thing, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Trogborg, you're a machine. Nothing slows you down. You managed to hang in there, and Pat, yeah, you do fine. You're just
Nice.
fine. And you
Troopers.
come upon a dark reaver, not unlike the one who killed your former captain. So, you are in a dark wood. You just oop. You find yourselves in a dark wood, and you are without any further support than that which you have brought with you. And you can max up your health and everything. These tokens might be inaccurate.
Now the question is, do we actually want to be good Samaritans and return the cattle? Or do we want to take them for ourselves?
Well, I'm always for taking for myself.
I don't want to wrangle cattle. We just give it to them and then we could get like salted beef or something.
I think that's the prudent decision. Wrangling cattle is a lot of work.
Plus, it's going to be like, we're going to have to put them into ship.
Yeah, there's a lot of cow here.
We can slay one for ourselves, sure, but we have to cook it that night. Otherwise, a lot of work.
That's true. Alright, fair enough. I'm kind of with Trogborg on this one. Let's be a big hassle to actually
I want someone to
manage all of that. all them animals.
Indeed. I'm here for the killing, personally.
So, you see your foe. And you see that they do indeed have in their company 6 Nords of their own, who I will mark with a funny symbol so you know they are bad guys. They're sort of spread out, and they're making sure the cattle don't run off. Pitch tent for the night. This dark, glowering night seems to billow darkness as he sits at the middle of the camp, sword rammed into the dirt, doing nothing in particular. And you've come upon this scene. 3 Nords in tow, one your guy full health, the other recent acquisitions at half health, and it is essentially your initiative. You have arrived as the hour grows late. You have not been seen coming, and the enemy has no reason to suspect that you are after him. So, you have the element perfectly of surprise, but that Reaver does look like a formidable foe.
Which is precisely why we should target them first. Wow, there's a lot of cows here. One,
Yes.
2, 3.
Well, there's 60
6.
still. I just haven't put them all down.
All right. In a hushed tone, or actually, sorry. Have they seen us yet, or are we still in planning
No, they
phase?
haven't seen you. You're like over a hill, like over like a slight embankment. It's dark.
Let me just make sure that my character shit is in order because this is gonna be a brutal fight.
It's actually you're level 4, so do level yourself up.
Right.
If anybody isn't level 4, I recommend doing that and going in with those hit points and such, because yeah.
I never put it on, I don't think, but didn't I just? Oh no, that's another campaign. Never mind. I was gonna say, didn't I just get like some badass armor? And I'm like, oh wait, no, that's my Sunday game
You
character.
might be thinking of football all the time.
Yeah, I might be thinking of Fubu. Hmm. I don't have any cool armor at all. Okay, there's not really much that I haven't equipped. That I have terrain advantages. Let me see. So we're in a fen with trees. Nothing particularly strikes me as being in any way advantageous for this fight, does it?
In what sense?
Like, I don't know, some sort of stone to trip someone or a particularly deep part of the bog. Um,
Well, you're out of the bog now. You're in the forest, the Night of Alda.
gotcha.
So, I would say that as
Roll
you
thing.
gaze out upon the terrain, there is a portion of muddy ground from heavy rainfalls that appears like it would be very uneven ground, easy to fall over or trip in, like right here-ish.
Huh. Not really close enough to the enemy to be super helpful, but that works. Okay. So I would
And,
probably sorry.
uh, go ahead.
I would probably mention to the crew of assembled Nords, uh you all take our corrupted brethren, and we'll handle the primary threat. Hopefully, with him or her dead, we'll be able to convert our brethren once more to our cause.
I say, sounds like the plan. But if they brought these idiots with them, then I bet they're involved somehow. And so, they sort of take that to mean that they're gonna sweep up on the side here. If you want them to like press in and attack the Nords,
That should work.
and you guys, they leave you to trigger the. And do you want them to trigger the ambush and like distract people, or do you want to start the fight?
That's not actually a terrible idea. What do you all say?
I like that idea.
I like it.
Quick question
Okay.
first.
This is one of those I said either or, and you said yes. Which of those two ideas do you like?
Them going up and triggering the assault while we, wait
Yes,
to ambush them.
that one. Um, by the way, I don't remember the rules for when the spell fails. Do I get it back after a long rest?
Yeah, you get it back that night, so your spells are back up, unless you get a critical fumble that says something else.
Gotcha.
All right. So, the Nords open with a volley of javelin and shortbow and hand axe throwing fire and yada yada. None of these hit. Cow was wounded. Moo! And the other sea wolves sort of begin to form up and run towards them. One gets stuck in the mud, and they're trying to form a shield wall. The Reaver sort of looks over with interest, but doesn't get involved yet. And they're sort of, distracted as the moment comes. It is Yarla's turn.
Perfect. Well, Yarla does what Yarla is best at, and 1, 2.
You can just
3.
go. It's like the weird close near whatever system.
All right.
You can just be upon the Reaver.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, and give me that attack as you strike at the black-plated Reaver. And
14 hit.
do not break through the plate's AC.
All right, fuck it. Freya time.
Freya time. Okay, yeah. Definitely hit with a 21. Okay, so
Nice.
you find a weak link in their armor and slice. Blood comes pooling out from under one black pauldron as red strips over the plate from a bit of chain and leather strap you've ripped. They look at you with anger fulminating in red eyes beneath the visor.
You will pay for what you've done to our fellow Nords.
And the Reaver says, the only one who pays is the one who is the price extracted. And they raise their barbed blade towards you in answer. So, it is Elbum's turn. Avi?
Yes. Let's see. Sorry, got slightly distracted.
That's quite.
Let's assist with this is one of the enemy Nords, right? The ones with the little shield symbols.
Sorry, what was that?
The
Those are your enemies.
those are the enemies, yes. Okay. Let me hit that one up. Try to cover Yarla's flank. Magic missile.
You strike the foe. Purple flame dances and lances from your hand, delivering 4 damage. Feel free to reposition yourself as you'd like. Trogborg.
All right, I'm going up with Yarla. Be like, let's go hit the guy.
All right, you run right in the backs of the other sea wolves and you begin to strike at them. Give me the attack. Ooh, sadly, that is not the enemy. The enemies.
I am going to spend a luck because why not?
Mm-hmm. Did you have the blessing of Freya?
Yep. And we've slept, so... Oh, damn. Damn you. Oh, wait. Let me just...
Well,
double check
you're
with
Freya, so roll the d6. You get an extra
Yep.
d6 when you use luck as Freya. 14. So sadly, their AC is 17,
Oh, okay.
which is a miss. So, it's the enemy Nord's turns. They reach and begin to clash with your allies. Some of them, others are still, making it. This guy falls over in the mud. Blink.
Lol, loser.
And this one's been shot by Elbum. Takes out his javelin and tries to throw it into Elbum's body.
No.
Missing with a... Oh, your AC is 9. Not
It is.
missing. Thudding into your leg and ripping off flesh with a palpable, painful...
Damn it, I knew I should have cast Mage Armor first.
This one starts to realize that there's a fight at their leader and double back, but none of them turn around in time to really matter. The Reaver, however, levels a huge barbed blade and says, I am the Lion of Memnon. I am the darkness that breaks the law. I am the force of chaos. And his red eyes glow redder and redder and redder. And he puts 2 bastard sword attacks on Yarla and 1 on Trogborg. 1 for Yarla. For Yarla. 1 for Trogborg. Alright, an 8's going to miss you, a 19's going to hit you, a 21's going to hit. Okay. So that is 5 on Yarla, 9 on Trogborg. His bloodlust is crazy. His barbed sword ripping for your body. You see how your allies have fallen before and before. But when you first witnessed the death of your captain on that boat, you never would have, done anything better in his place. But now you stand firm against this Reaver, at least for a moment. Your allies and the enemy crew clash. And the enemy crew begins to get the better of the exchange. The already wounded new allies you bring with you aren't doing well, and your main guy has been blooded. And the enemies have suffered largely superficial wounds in the process. Yarla, it is your turn. 2 of the enemy Nords are turning around, so it's no longer going to be a 2v1 soon. You're facing down the Reaver. Anything you want to do?
I want to hit the Reaver.
You hit, dealing 7 damage, cracking a piece of plate, and more blood billowing from beneath.
How's the Reaver looking? Are we making any headway at all?
Bloodied. You think you got into about half with that.
Oh, fuck yes. Good.
Oh.
With that, I clamor. You are chaos? You are nothing!
Come, let your old man gods lie down in a stone cairn and die like your captain.
I am as Raven!
You will be raven soup. So Elbum, it's your turn. One of these guys looks like he's gonna close on you soon. The other looks like he's about to turn around and fight your friends.
Okay, so the guy who's looking at me, I presume, is the one that I hit.
Yeah, so he's wounded already.
How wounded does he seem? Would another magic missile potentially drop him?
Nah, he's just over half, and you do a D4, so you'd think that even if you got a max, one more magic missile cannot drop this man.
Okay. I will cast Mage Armor. Is that critical success? Shoot, I forget what is that. Just when you roll a nat 20?
Yeah, it's just when you roll a nat 20. You roll an 18. So
Okay.
the mage armor defends you. Your AC is higher.
Indeed.
So it's now 14, and
I'll just stay close to the shield wall over here.
Trogborg.
All right, let's see if 3rd time is the charm. Nope.
You got any tricks?
No, sadly. All I can do is just hit with sword.
All right. Well, time to see how it hits with Nord. They crash into your allies. Your allies crash into them. There's loss on both sides, but it is more getting cut than anything decisive. One of them runs up this hill, much like Kate Bush, and comes for Album, short sword in hand, and tries to thrust at him. Striking
Damn.
through the ethereal magical barrier for 4 damage, striking you in your side, blood pooling there. The other does turn around and come for Trogborg with a great axe. Missing horribly, cutting the cud to Trogborg's side. The Reaver now distributes 2 attacks to Trogborg and 1 to Yarla. 1 for Trogborg, and then 1 for Yarla. So a 7 is definitely going to miss. He goes, whoosh. A 19 is definitely going to hit. He goes,
12 hits.
And the 12 to Yarla hits. Did you never... You just kept leather armor, I guess, yeah.
I really thought I had better armor, but I did not.
Well, you guys have had thousands of gold.
Didn't you loot the
looted
person's
chainmail.
chain?
Yeah, you stripped the chainmail out of the lady's outfit. Of her plate,
well,
armor. One
Wait,
moment.
all right. So I don't mean to be like retroactive about this, but I did kind of want to check my gear before this combat to see if I had anything I could put on better than this leather.
Yeah, no. So you guys have like thousands of gold, multiple dead bodies with chainmail on them, and we explicitly mentioned that you could strip the lady's plate for the chain underneath. So like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say you got the
Okay, all right. Well, I'll take it. Honestly, that I would have done this before combat, and we all bore witness to that.
puts you at 13, missing you by 1, so not putting you down.
Hey.
You will get put
Ew.
down pretty soon.
Nice.
That's why I like Lee as a GM. He's really cool about this kind of shit.
Your Nords, the Nords crash into one another yet again, and your side finally gets the better. One of the guys in the line drops, and yeah, they're starting to really press. Yarla, it is your turn. Your turn, La.
They're for the grace of God went I. So I'm gonna go ahead and
For all the guys, yes.
I'm gonna give them a little peck of the beak here.
Ooh,
Oh,
you slash
okay,
at
yep.
the
I'll
cud.
take that. That's a miss.
Caught on a brush, banging away twigs and thorns.
Hold on.
Elb-
Since I do
Mhm.
wait. Since I'm Freya aligned, that is 1 extra luck. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
go ahead and use my regular luck
Mm-hmm.
on this one. Probably still missing. Yep. Okay. Bye bye luck.
Well, you roll a 1d6
Well, yeah,
still.
roll the d6, and if you get a 6, you can't hit.
Oh. Okay. Well, maybe. Damn it.
1 south.
Oh, so
16
close.
Yeah.
flings off that little ornament on the armor, dinging it, but not doing any real damage in the process. Album, it is your turn. You have a friend with you in melee.
I do. I'm going to try a little trick. Let's see if it works. I would like to attempt to cast Fixed Object on this guy's chest armor.
And out of curiosity, so Mage Armor isn't a focus spell, right? It's a fixed duration spell?
Correct. For
All right.
it lasts 10 rounds.
Okay, cool. Give me your check to see about casting fixed armor on the fixed object in the armor.
Absolutely. Dice don't fail me now.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
You're not sure what would do normally, but you critically succeed. And his chainmail suit, all of the links are stuck in place. He's like, what? And this guy is, unable to move for the moment.
That's so fucking good. Oh my god.
Feel free to move about the
I'm
cabin.
so glad that worked. Excellent. Okay.
Feel free to reposition.
Yes, I actually want to basically leave that guy right there. And
Awesome.
I want to circle around toward
Yeah.
the cows. Can I move far enough away to get like behind them?
Yeah. Yeah, you dodge behind the cows.
Excellent.
Trogborg, you're between a rock and a hard place. What do you do?
I guess I gotta start fighting.
You've just begun
And
to fight.
it is a miss.
Oh, and the virtual tabletop made it look like it was always a 20. You don't have any magic items or anything on you that you're using?
Nope, I don't even have any magic stuff. Everyone else looted it.
All right. Well, do you reposition it all? Are you gonna stay in this melee or?
Yeah, because if anything, Yarla is gonna get hit, and
Mhm.
we're both at 9, so might as well go down fighting.
Okay. Guy stuck in the mud kind of like comes in on the side. Guy who's frozen can't do anything. Guy behind Trogborg tries to ask Trogborg a question, missing horribly. The battle rages on the hill.
Serves
and
them right.
The Reaver distributes 2 for Yarla, 1 for Trogborg. First against Yarla, second against Yarla,
Ah,
and then 1 against Trogborg. So, first is a whiff, as is customary with his broadsword. Then he brings it horribly crashing into Yarla. Pain and blood well within you, Yarla. You're still standing, but just barely. Up at 2 gaming. And then the blade sliver slashes back, transmitting any bloodborne diseases you had into Trogborg, also left up at 2 gaming.
that was brutal.
That's terrible. Oh, jeez.
And your allies crash into the treacherous crew foe, slaying another one of them and causing a rout collapse of this guy, running back for whatever allies he has. This guy is stuck on the hill and gets pushed to the ground as the 3 of them go. This guy slits the throat of the man trying to wriggle out of his armor.
Excellent.
And chaos unfolds. This guy stuck out running, kind of comes by the Reaver, looks like he's going to join up here to maybe have a backline. Says, "We have to retreat." And Reaver says, "The lion does not fear the assortment of northern zoo animals. Show the strength of Memnon, or you are not worthy." And
See, here I thought the lion was the symbol of the other guys.
they're twins. They're twin lions, Memnon and Madeira.
Oh. That's boring. Our gods are cooler.
And they said, "I would expect a furry to say that. They always want more animal variety." The Reaver spits
fuck
at
off.
you.
Gonna kill you.
And yeah, so there's the battle is on the hill, and the death is going kind of your way, but it is now the Jarla Turnla. And you and Trogborg are barely holding on for dear life. The Reaver is bloodied at half health.
Whoops, that did not work.
Hey, you quick roll. And you missed by 1.
Alright, well, you know what?
You come around
gonna
behind
come
him
over
and try and confuse
Yeah, I'm
him
gonna
a
come
bit.
over here.
Hmm?
Well, I can't do anything more, but I will say to that Nord up top, the lion's seen its last day and its pride has been decimated. Flee now and you can join us once we're finished killing it.
Give me a charisma check.
Yep.
All right. He doesn't say
You will
anything,
join in the
but
feast.
you see recognition in his eyes. And there's a shift in the Reaver's stance, like he's about to start doing some wide swing. Album, it's your turn, buddy. You're behind the cows, and it looks like the Reaver is probably going to cut down your buddies before your allies can get there. But you're behind a whole bunch of cows who've been startled after one of them got hurt. What do you do?
Hmm. I was
You
going
did
to attack
mention
the
that you know
Reaver.
things about cow wrangling, right?
Start
mean-
a stampede, have us be trampled along with the Reaver.
Don't let me distract you from your course of action, oh wizard. But saying this is the field that you have to play.
Indeed, indeed. And just double checking, the Reaver is still like is not quite at death's door. Still
Also,
fighting.
reminder: you bought a number of potions and have looted several others. I don't know if that's
yeah, there's that too.
yeah. Like I'm just saying, there's things. Do what you will with them.
I don't think I can do anything useful
explosives
with the
and health
potions
potions,
at the moment. But you know what? I'm gonna try to rouse the cows and basically start a stampede and try to create a distraction.
All right. How do you think Album does this? Does Album use their great intellect to like think about how cows move?
How cows.
Yes, indeed.
That pun caused you to lose 2 HP. You die. No. That was great. That was great, Pat. Yeah. So give me an int check. You fashion a switch from a nearby tree, slap a cow ass with a twig, stamp, clap your hands, noise, and fear overtake the cows. They stampede. Yarla and Trogborg, give me dex checks.
Yarla, famously proficient in dexterity.
I swear, if this ends up trampling y'all to death, I'm gonna be so upset.
Don't be. It's funny.
Oh my god.
Yarla is taken by the head of a
On the subject of funny,
cow and carried off a ways. Trogborg deftly sidesteps, but contact range is broken. People are knocked away. The fleeing guy flees before the Reaver can cut him down for being a coward, and the Reaver himself just sort of like stands in the way and gets buffeted around by the cows, taking one kick, which does not break his AC. And Trogborg, there are cows running by like it's a fucking Wild West themed battle.
I'm gonna use one of the potions. It's 2d8 at level 4, right? And it's an action, right?
You want the potion of healing?
Yeah.
At level 4, yes, it will give you 2d8, and it'll be an action.
All right. Let's see, and I get back 9 health.
All right, but I'll put it on you. You're up to 10. All right. Oh, you're up to 11 actually.
Beautiful.
The Nord. The enemy Nords are functionally scattered at this point.
yeah, AFAIK, there's only like one true enemy Nord at this
The
point.
Reaver takes a swing at you, missing. Takes a swing at you, hitting, and takes a swing at you, hitting.
Well, there went all that health you
Oh my
gained.
god, precisely to 0. Okay. Roll me
Yeah.
1d4 plus con mod, Trogborg. Okay, you got 2 turns. Okay. So,
5 turns, actually. I got +3 con.
oh, alright. You got 5 turns. This is plenty of time to turn that around. The enemies are kind of falling back, running away, running to the herd, whatever. The allies see the Trogborg is down, and they say, let's defend our comrade. And they kind of, charge in. All of them make their go at this. None of them breaking AC on the Reaver.
Oh jeez.
Yarla, Give me a strength to wrestle the cow.
Yarla, cow wrestler.
You manage to wrestle the cow head away, and you're back on your feet. Do you wanna? What do you do?
All right. So, am I too far to get back into the
No,
into
you're
the
close
melee?
enough. You want to run up and attack?
I think that's the smartest thing for me to do, but also I'm yeah, largely because I'm, as far as I can tell, the only one who can hit this thing.
Yeah, you're the only one. And then maybe you attack it and bounce off.
Yeah, that's not a terrible idea.
Do we perhaps get advantage from the confusion?
I mean,
It is the enemy is wildly flanked for what it's worth.
he is like totally surrounded at this point.
Like literally as surrounded as possible with, you know, as many people as we have.
And cows.
And cows.
And cows.
So it's very helpful, friendly cows.
The Reaver presents an opening to you. You have advantage on this attack.
That so much for
Well,
advantage.
you don't take
okay,
you don't take the worst result, but you don't take the better one either. Yeah, so you run back amidst the cows.
Oof.
Album, it's your turn.
I fire upon the Reaver.
Also, a fixed object you don't need to worry about focusing on because the guy is dead.
Yeah.
Ooh, can you
that's,
fix object the Reaper?
It's a
Reaver?
melee. It's a melee one, so you'd have to come up and slap the Reaver.
That would be extremely risky. Whereas magic
Incredibly
missile,
fair.
I'm like almost guaranteed to deal damage. Um,
You know what? Go for it. That's smarter.
but I forget what I was gonna say. Whatever. I cast magic missile.
You strike him with damage. Purple glowing bolt cracks the armor just a tad, just a little bit of damage. True.
Something
Bloodied.
more than nothing.
Yeah.
I approve.
Trogborg, you're down to 4 turns of bleed out.
Roll that 20.
Nope.
Close. If only there was a 0 after it.
One of the enemy Nords attempts to rally his ally, and the two of them starts to make off with a significant amount of the stampeding cattle down a bendy wind.
Alright, we're gonna have to go kill them.
This guy is,
down
however,
here.
still running away. These guys are all dead. And
Come back, little runner man. Trauma bonding awaits you.
this guy
Return to me.
levels his blade and says, "I need no lesser being to prove my worth." And he strikes to the north, to the west, and to the south.
No.
So, he hits one of them. And this guy falls, bleeding out for 1 turn, which is going to be a fairly immediate death. And he breaks his bastard sword on the first shield, flails around with a broken hilt, throws it down, and screams a horrible, blood-curdling scream. And as he does, he says, "Memnon, grant me the means to kill your enemy." And it should seem that his is a god that listens. Because you see his hands warp. And he now has claws. Ripping out of his suit of plate armor, black, glistening, slick with blood.
Oh, I don't like that.
Totally not doing anything for me. Totally.
This Nord expires.
Oh,
Yarla.
damn. It was that fast? Fuck.
He rolled one turn. The turn was up next, and I gave him a con check to see if he was. I mean, I don't know. A 10 is like above a 9, which is the easy one. I mean, if you were to immediately shove a potion in his mouth, you'd be able to save him.
Had been considering it, but after witnessing that brutal transformation,
Also,
declare-
don't forget that Trogborg is still bleeding out and
Yeah,
is
I
on
am-
his last round, I think.
No,
Very
Trogborg has
cognizant
4 more
more.
rounds.
oh no, Trogborg's got a few more rounds, but
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yarla yells, "Oh, fuck that one dude in particular!" She raises her sword once more. It's always
Oh my god.
I don't suppose I still have advantage, do I?
Sadly, he sees you coming, wheels about, and catches with his new black claws your incoming blade.
Alright, is this split move and attack?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it's fine,
I'm getting
exactly.
out of range. Because if I roll a 12, I'm capable of killing this fucker.
Alright, Album?
Album, heal!
Album, you want to
Not to
go
tell you what to do or
shove a
anything.
potion down the bleeding Nord's throat?
Sure.
Let's show this fucker the power of friendship.
So yeah, glug glug.
It's so funny. The names in this game are so like that. I was like, wait a minute. Is Glug Glug in the battle? And then I realized you were doing the onomatopoeia.
That's literally what I was thinking.
Honestly,
too, actually.
fair.
Alright, he's up at 4
Sounds
games.
like
He's
we're
like,
gonna get another one named Glug Glug.
I'm back to life. Album, you're a miracle worker. And, yeah, I'm assuming you want to stay behind him.
I do indeed.
Trogborg, 3 turns remain.
Roll that dice. Oh, so close.
The Nord to the south, abscond with a great deal of the cattle.
Dang it.
The Reaver lashes out with the claws, north, west, and south.
See how that works out for him.
Miss, hit, miss. Yet again, clawing into the guy who you just healed for 7, putting him down. He has...
Roll better this time.
Also, I realized I fucked up. He has a comm out of 1 anyway, so it should have been within time, so I didn't really cheat for him. 4 turns to be stabilized this time. And, yeah, the others, he's like bashing against their shields. He's wild, and now his red glowing eyes pierce the veil of light around. A great axe and a short sword lash out at him, delivering a miss and a hit as the axe
We
hacks
got a
into his
hit.
shoulder plate. Blood, damage, and everything goes everywhere, and one of his arms peels away to show a weird set of draconic glyphs glowing there, and his claw grows ever stronger and twists, and he wheels about with his red eyes. And down a sleeve of his plate, with only thick black fur now below, his AC is now 16.
All right.
So it went down slightly.
It went down by 1. So it is.
Who's puppery now?
It is Yarla's turn. Now Yarla's gonna start to roll only 15s.
I know.
16s, actually.
more than you needed this time. You run up and slash him for 16 damage. 7 damage, rather. Holy shit, no. It's gonna be crazy. You
That would
slam
be
into
awesome.
him, he bleeds horribly. His blood curdles almost like milk.
Do my
And
same trick as before.
Album, what are you gonna do? The Reaver is so low that like a top side of the curve blast could put him under.
I do go for the blast. So anyway, I started blasting.
You wave your hands with the conductor's grace. You see he lowers his stance, bares his claws, and is ready to lunge at you and rip you apart with his 3 attacks. If you rolled any less than exactly what you rolled, 3 down at 0 gaming. No, he blows apart his chest piece, and you see under black plate healing a mutated Dark Reaver marked with the signs of Memnon who collapses. Black smoke emerging and black ooze pooling out until all that remains is shredded black plate and a broken black sword.
Down to the realm of hell with you.
Yes, yes. And as combat ends, give me your int checks, but I mean, realistically, I think that you're going to be able to save both of them.
Yeah, Yarla's not gonna make any int checks.
Yeah.
Yarla wants to hop on a cow and yip.
All right,
down to the others.
I've been reading recently about the fact that you can technically ride cows. Give me your choice of constitution, or your wisdom, or charisma to befriend the cow and ride them. Actually, the main problem with them logistically is they're very difficult to.
I whisper sweet nothings into its ear and say, "Follow the herd. Bring me to your sisters and brothers."
So,
well, sisters actually, mostly.
Your allies, everyone up here survives, gets stabilized, you know, everything's fine. You have slightly less than half the herd with you up here, but Yarla rides after 2 people, and you know,
I'm gonna take a potion while I'm doing this. I feel like I have enough time while I'm on a horse.
Roll 2d8 on a quote unquote horse. Roll 2d8.
I mean, whatever. Beautiful Bessie.
Okay. Here's what happens. You find yourself in something of like a dark gully. Not to be mistaken with a fern gully, which is much more colorful.
I was gonna say, I've seen this movie.
Yeah, and you find yourself here, and you are you know, pursuing the herd into the gully on the back of your own pseudo steed, as it were. And there is quite a bit of cow here. And there are 2 warriors in amongst them. And they, from the cover of the cow, seeing you, one whips out their bow and says, "Away, vile beggar!" And you have healed 11. And this one looses his shaft. Arrow flying wide, and the other one says, "Surely you will be cursed to the deepest hell if you continue to chase us." And they
I have
throw
not
a javelin.
come to beg.
Yeah, so both of their projectiles miss. Do you want to like rush in and attack them?
Yeah, well, so she's from her vantage, she's going to say, "I have not come to beg. I have come to offer you clemency. Should you throw away your weapons at this time and swear fealty to a true Nord as opposed to some foul southerner. But should you be sworn to chaos, then I have no choice but to smite you in the name of Odin."
He's like, "Oh, I mean, I wouldn't call myself sworn to chaos." They kind of like look at each other, and you know, one scratches the back of his, you know.
Oh, and by the way, it comes with perks. You get to keep any cattle you like if you join our herd, if you join our crew.
Yeah. And yeah, they seem to consider that a pretty fine deal, and they decide that yeah, it's probably way better to join this crew than not. I will note one of these guys.
Are they like mutated or some shit?
One of them, you can't help but notice, has sort of like a blue tinge to his teeth. And usually he's trying to suck down, but his saliva seems the wrong color.
Awesome.
Oh.
Well,
Gnarly.
I pretend I don't notice
All right.
for now. Mark that one for me though.
Yeah, he's got the little corroding symbol. So,
Gotcha.
with that, you guys have secured all of the cattle and such. And they're like, so, gotta sacrifice them to Odin instead, yeah? And like the guy who ran away is
Indeed.
like, I'm back for the offer, yay! And the other sea wolves are like a little, but they don't say no. With the Reaver dead, sort of water under the troll bridge, as it were.
I command the one with the blue saliva or blue gums or what have you to go about the process of initiating the sacrifice. Well, I take on like a directorial role, make sure that the sacrifice seems professional, but I kind of make sure that I'm doing so from. I want to make it seem arbitrary that I'm standing next to this guy.
Hmm. And so there's 55 head of cattle remain. How many do you want to offer to the gods, and which gods are you thinking?
I mean, not nearly that many. I feel like Odin would be fine with 2.
Yeah. So you offer up Odin a sacrifice of 2 cattle. He slaughters them appropriately. Do you like intervene at some point, or?
Oh yeah, no, I mean like just as he's about to strike down the cattle, I'd like to strike him down instead.
Okay. So I'm just gonna give you a concept because you kill him, and then thank you someone who made this bleep. Olami, thank you for the follow. And as you strike him down, the other people who have turned coat like raise their weapons and say, "What's the meaning of this?"
I pull off his helm and kind of lift him up by one hand and show off his flesh and say,
Yeah,
far too gone.
as you hold him up, teal saliva splashes onto the dirt below, and it acidically burns away the grass. And one of them says,
For himself to the southern gods.
"You have performed deceit in the rite of sacrifice to Odin. You don't think this will bring ill luck upon us?" Yeah, I mean, if you thought he was
No.
unclean, why'd you have him do the rite?
Well, sorry, hold on. I didn't actually want him to kill the cow. I wanted to kill him before he did that.
Roll me a dex check.
Incredibly valid of you.
Okay, yeah, you managed to kill him before he got the cow, but they take less umbrage, but they're like, oh, okay, I guess.
No, but it's kind of sacrilege. That's fine.
But they're not really gonna question it. But still, you feel like they're pretty paranoid now that you just killed one of the turncoats that they're gonna die next. So, slightly more tension in your new recruits than there was otherwise. But
if you have acidic saliva, keep that to yourself going forward.
they
I
both
say as I discard
they both
the
spit,
corpse.
and you don't see anything. And yep. So, you guys have acquired a herd of cattle, and you find yourselves in the woods.
I heard of cattle -2. I actually do sacrifice those guys.
Yeah, all right. You sacrifice them to Odin, who is, if Odin was offended otherwise, you see 2 ravens come and observe, and you get the sense that Odin is pleased. And you have your new acquisitions, and you have your herd of cows with you, and you pitch tent for the night. You already pushed, so you're not getting to. The battle happened at night. You're only not getting to sleep for a while, and time elapses. It is a tense sleeping arrangement. you have a lot of juicy prey and a lot of smell of blood and death. And the two recent turncoats are like sleeping next to each other for what safety they have. You wound up near the ravine because it's a convenient place to keep the cows, right? This
Works for me.
this like forest ravine, and you see in the darkness as you are aroused by the howling and jowling of the creatures beyond, a pack of what would appear to be 9 wolves.
Well, with any luck, they're scavengers.
Yeah, so I mean, they feast upon the corpses from the battle and rip at, other stuff, but they grow closer, not yet fully fed. And as they grow closer, you see a red glint in their eyes, over almost like a mist overpowering their natural gold. And you start to get the sense that there's something off about these wolves. And one of the turncoats, the one who ran when you said to, says, "They say the beasts of the Night Volda are all touched by chaos." And yeah, they kind of fan out and howl, and they strike a menacing.
That would have been important information to mention before we set camp here.
Well, I didn't know if it was a rumor or not.
Whatever. Battle stations.
Yeah, so they form up their shield wall to the south. Your allies form up their battle stations to the north, and Trogborg, I'm going to give you back a single D10's health because you had a slight rest that was interrupted.
All right,
You're
two
at
health.
2 HP. Your allies are not faring much better. Everyone's kind of wounded. If it really comes to a battle, you could lose people here. Do you want to do anything with any particular items that you guys have? Do you want to try and do something to drive off the wolves? You note that several of them look like they're inching towards the ravine. Like their big interest would probably be hopping down there and slaughtering some cows. And their line is breaking up a little, but not entirely over that.
Are any of you particularly good at cow herding?
I have a torch. Would fire help?
That's pretty good. We should have you on the perimeter. Or maybe light some of the underbrush, actually? Think we should burn the forest? I'm kind of in favor
What
of
about
burning
the
the forest.
cows? Like, we can leave a burning forest, but trying to get a cow through a burning forest?
Yeah, that would basically be abandoning them.
I hate cows.
All right.
Except for you, Bessie. You're cool. Bessie's the one that I wrote. She's cool. Good to do, Lee. I don't have anything more to add.
Yeah, so you take out your torch, Trogborg, and try and lead the. Where'd you try and lead the cows? Or are you trying to run off the wolves, rather?
Yeah, I think we're gonna try to like scare the wolves off with like fire and such.
Give me a charisma with advantage as you take the torch to them.
All right.
Can I tag team this and make a torch with his lit torch? Oh fuck!
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
And Trogborg, you dance forward, and the wolves are like whimper and decide to content themselves with the meat of dead sea wolves this night and treat. And yeah, you are no further disturbed as Trogborg, tamer of wolves, stands before you, a ferocious man. All assembled Nords put away their misgivings of one another and feel that surely a man who can so tame wolves can so tame the battlefield, and are reassured at Trogborg's presence.
This is the point Trogborg just collapses because it's just 2 HP.
Yeah. So, The night passes and everybody gets their rest and gets put to full HP. It's the next day. You have a herd. You have yourselves. And there's a dark altar to your southeast. And there's a nice lady with potions you have a letter for, 2 to the northwest. And hey, it's just fucking Hexcrawl o'clock, ain't it?
Well, now we've
It
got
really
fucking
is.
cows to deal with. I don't
That's
like
right.
this.
Fucking cows. 53 of them now that 2 have been sacrificed to Odin.
I mean, we can just go back and deposit the cows.
Well, see, I was thinking half could be ours and half could go back to the town. Is that crazy?
I mean, the question is, what would we?
Well, the guys that I recruited at the very end there were pretty keen on having part of the herd, and I was like, yeah, sure, go for it. But if we think we go back on that, then we can go back on that. But I did give that to them as part of their recruitment pitch.
I
Yeah.
think it's more along the lines of once they find out how much money we have, that the cows are not going to be important.
I kind of figured as
I
such.
mean,
Okay,
they're
so
not a close part of the crew. They don't need to know about that just yet.
right,
Um,
yeah.
but basically what I was saying is that I think we should just try to find a place to stash the cows in the meantime, or like half the cow, however many we're actually keeping.
Fair enough.
Maybe even
Um,
leave some people taking care of them.
yeah, I was gonna say, what if we left the Chaos Nords in charge of like 14 cows or 12 cows or something, and then we took the rest back to town, or had our more loyal comrades take the rest back to town and do that whole part of the quest
Yeah.
and go on to the Dark Altar ourselves
All right, so you want to just
with
like
maybe one Nord.
do you want to like dispatch your NPCs to go take the cattle back to town and then handle the rest yourselves? And do you want to keep one Nord or do you want to just do it yourselves? The 3
I'm
of
kind
you.
of content to do it ourselves if yeah, we're up to full health.
Yeah.
I think we could do it ourselves.
You find a dark altar deep in the woods. It is precisely as it has been described to you, and yet there is an indescribable sensation, the pure evil pours from it. In a sickly clearing of charred wood and dead, bare dirt, the smell of burning atmosphere lingers, like a fresh lightning strike suspended through time. A pitch black obsidian altar with smooth black surface and cruelly barbed organic sides bulges from broken earth like a tumor. You see strange glyphs in the twisting barbs on the side. Perhaps this is what the conjurer wanted to know about. Perhaps you will make a note.
Right, person.
Indeed, I
Yala says,
shall.
pointing at Eldom. Make a note.
I do exactly that in whichever way I would deem helpful to a wizard.
You feel like this is a great place to sacrifice things, by the way.
So, like, any god or just like one specific god?
Any
An
Or
god.
like
important
two
question.
specific gods?
Yeah, did you guys do the thing where you're gonna split the cows, or did you send them all away?
I'm in favor of splitting the cows, but I don't know that I feel like we kind of
I
reached
think
that consensus, but I don't know that we officiated it.
someone said something like split them, like and have 14 with you or something. Do you want to have them with you?
No, I was thinking 12 would stay with the Nords that we just picked up, who may just kind of wait in the ravine for us to return.
Yeah, so we were gonna stash the Nords and the cows, or like some of the
Mhm.
cows, like 14 or however many, nearby.
I'm happy to make it a dozen. I feel like 14's too many.
Sure.
Really, like logistically, I don't know how we can take care of that many cows anyway.
I mean, we got a lot of people. I figured we'd
And the
butcher
point
most
is,
of them.
you have some cows.
Yes.
You
So
and
the,
do you
Come with us
the
immediately.
sacrifice to Odin gives you the insight that this would be a place to sacrifice to any god. Do you do so?
Oh. Well, if we can sacrifice to any god here, then I guess, yeah, like one more on the Barbie,
All right.
right?
So you
But to Odin specifically?
on the
all
Barbie.
right. So who makes the sacrifice?
I mean, anybody can speak up, but I think otherwise Yarla probably would.
All right. As you strike it down,
Yeah, you're
there's a
more
I'm
religious.
like
moment
the most
where the
pious lady,
altar
but yeah.
transmits its essence, hanging its very spirit and soul in suspended animation for a moment as red lightning flashes. And you feel a D12 roll coming over you. Roll a D12.
Right. That's a D10. That's a D12. Okay.
Indeed.
But I'm nothing.
You feel Odin looking down on you, and he directs his dwarves, his giants, and all who serve him, and they fashion for you a 10,000 little scales of armor, and in a glistening red glow, they fall over and wrap around your body unseen. And you gain a firmament. You gain a blessing, and you are immune to fire damage. So write that down.
Oh shit.
Demon skin,
Nice.
you're immune to fire damage. Does somebody else
Anybody
want
else
to...
want to make a sacrifice?
Yeah.
Go for it. We got
I mean,
cows.
fuck it. Sure.
All right, who you sacrificing to?
Let's see. I do have Odin as my deity.
Odin is always hungry for steak. Do you do it?
Yeah, let's do it. It's been a while since I've observed the rites. Now's as good a time as any.
Give him the old spinal tap with the ritual dagger, and there's a red flash of lightning. You roll a d12.
All right.
Yeah, you feel Odin's wisdom pass over you, and you feel as if though you can move like the wise spirits of the outer tree, and you gain Ghost Walk. Once per day, you can turn incorporeal for 1d4 rounds.
Oh,
You know that?
I quite like that.
And
You said
Trogborg.
one.
Sorry, was that?
That was 1d4 rounds.
Yeah, I put it in chat too.
Perfect.
Trogborg.
All right.
Who we
Uh,
sacrificing to?
I have Old Nord God, so I'm going with Odin.
Odin time. You brutally butcher it. Give me that d12. And what do we have here? But Death's Sting. You feel a drop of honeyed heavenly mead touch your tongue. You are immune to the effects of poison.
Does that mean I can actually like drink myself blind?
I don't think...
Well, you wouldn't be
I
blind.
don't know if alcohol counts as poison. But, you know.
It's one of those philosophical things now.
Yeah.
I know.
I have done that with another like immunity to poison thing in a 5e game, but well, you'll have to experiment. But you know that no like substance intended to straight up kill you is going to do that. So yeah, you get the feeling that there's diminishing returns here, although you could probably top off your health with further worthy sacrifices. But you've received your blessings and you have your tagalongs, and I presume that you depart this place.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
All right. The other Nords tell you that they know that the Reaver met with the old woman at the farmstead, but they don't know what they said.
Well, let's pay her a visit. Find out.
Tread now over the fen. Where you are harried by 8 starving wolves. They follow you
Same
away.
fuckers from last night.
These are different wolves. These are not wolves of the They don't look like they're like mutant or anything or like driven evil. They just look like they're desperate. But they keep a good distance and fade into the underbrush of the fen as you enter the Cookie Farmstead. Which, why don't you guys engage in the pleasant dialogue of Viking warriors while I go upload that map?
I have talked too much. Somebody else speak.
Well, we're not really speaking to anyone. Though I will remark that even the wildlife around here doesn't seem to be doing well.
I have
Quite-
never seen a wolf with red eyes until last night.
All right. This place is cursed, and not by any of our gods. This is some southerner shit. Really fucking weird southerner shit.
Truly.
I can't believe that it could impact our own men like it did. Our poor misguided Norseman with the acidic breath. What a foul taint. Truly, this southern god is a blight on the land.
Surely. I have no misgivings about our raids here.
Indeed. Not that I'm a fan of the other lion, but it's Memnon, right? It's particularly onerous. Let us be the kills lions. Hippo? Jackal?
Memnon's those people with the weird things under their tongue, right?
Yes,
So
Is
it
it?
was the Memnons that killed the captain.
indeed.
Oh,
And tainted one of our own. Turned them into a monster of sorts.
This Memnon
Possibly.
thing sounds very dangerous then.
Indeed. Not like our Chaos God. Loki at least looks after his own. Treacherous though he is.
this is true.
His trickery has some sort of an end. This one, I feel, revels in destruction and corruption. Best to be destroyed.
Yes,
Rooted out.
as you reflect upon the need to root out and destroy this corruption, come upon a lovely, idyllic, even little farmstead. A grouping of houses and a disposition of pleasant peasants. As I try and find the map where I have all your little. All right, so it's the three of you and the two recently acquired